A fire has ravaged a historic church in Little Portugal. CB24's Courtney Heels is near St.Annes Anglican Church at Dundas and Gladstone and joins us with the very latest. It's just devastating to see what's left, Courtney.
Yeah, it is, Lena. I mean, this is a total loss. That's what we heard from the fire chief, district fire chief, that is, earlier today, saying that this fire was really significant. It destroyed the building. I'll give you a look at what's happening behind me now. So crews have been here for several hours, since 8 o'clock this morning. Right now, they're still working on hotspots. That's how stubborn this fire was. It was a 4 alarm at one point. In fact, I can actually see some smoke still kind of coming out of the building. It's not clear how this fire started, but when crews arrived here, they had to take a defensive attack. In fact, at one point, they actually pulled those crews out of the building for safety reasons, and then they started to work on the flames from the outside. We're sharing with you now some video, some viewer video. It shows the flames shooting through the roof of the church. What's also heartbreaking about this, there was historic art inside of the church in the dome area, in the roof area. What we heard from the priest who works here, he says work from 3 members of the group of 7 was inside of this church. He described that work as priceless. We'll let you hear from Toronto Fire and the priest talking about the loss for this community.
Our crews were met with heavy flame and smoke. The fire was immediately escalated to a second, then a third, and we reached our maximum at a 4th alarm. As you can see, we are gaining control of the fire. There are no reported injuries at this time, and our crews will obviously remain on scene for a number of days. We have a number of elevating devices to make sure the fire did not spread. The adjoining homes have been protected. And as I said, the Toronto Fire Investigations Division has been notified, and they will make the other appropriate notifications. This is a devastating loss for the community.
This is an extraordinary loss, not only to the church community, but to this larger community. St.Annes served the church, and this whole place served the arts community, the community, with meals and, just care and just really trying to provide a place for this part of the city of Toronto. But most of all, where the great loss too is the loss of the art. This was the only church that featured artwork by members of the group of 7, and I'm sorry to say that that's been lost.
So this loss weighing heavily on so many people who live in this area, work in this area. Lena, a lot of people telling us they have connections to this church. I talked to one gentleman who said he was married here several years ago. Another family who said they brought their kids to church. They just can't believe this church is gone. Now, in speaking with the priest earlier, he had vowed they are going to rebuild, but the focus right now is putting out the hotspots here on this historic building, and also they'll try and figure out what sparked this fire. The priest earlier said nobody was in the church when this fire started. He said he's usually the first one to come in the morning to open things up, so nobody was staying overnight. There were no early gatherings here. So that is going to be the focus for fire officials and the fire marshal's office. They have also been called in. In fact, I noticed their truck here about an hour or so ago, so they'll be trying to figure out exactly what happened. The roads are expected to remain closed here for some time too as part of this investigation. Lena, over to you.
So much history, so much artwork lost. Thankfully, everyone is okay. Courtney Heels reporting live. And staying with this story, local and provincial politicians, they're also reacting to this fire.
I don't think it's possible to describe the tremendous loss that you see behind us. Not only is this a national monument, it's of international importance with the art by members of the group of 7. They led the restoration and some of the work that was done previously. It's something that we cannot replace in Canada and in the world.
I'm so deeply saddened by this. I've lived in this community for 30 plus years, and this is not just it's an important place of faith, but it is also an important convening place. It has been a support to so many in the community for so many years, whether we're dealing with people who are looking for shelter or food or companionship, or this is going to be a tremendous loss for the community, but it's not over, because we will rebuild.
And stay with CB24 as we continue to follow this developing story.